here on the Captain's Lady fishing boat. Today is July 12th, 2016, and I'm here with Dick Kelly. And Dick is the organizer of the annual Veterans Fishing Trip. Dick, so I understand that this year there was an extra special aspect to the fishing trip. You want to tell us about that?
This is the second annual trip in memory of Corporal John Dawson, who was killed in Afghanistan last year. And this is the second annual fishing trip in memory of John. Looks like we have quite a nice day. People are already catching fish. And I want to add that Dick George is really the guy that is the motivator and put this trip together.
And tell us about the veterans that join you on this trip. Where do they come from, and who do they represent?
Well, it's a mixed bag, and we have all branches represented: Coast Guard, Air Force, Marines, Navy, and Army. Well,
we're gonna go around and talk to some of the veterans, and I know you want to get your hook in the water here and see what you can catch, Dick. So thanks for talking with us, and we'll be going around talking to the various veterans on this beautiful, beautiful July day for the annual Veterans Fishing Trip. Thanks, Dick.
It is, and you're very welcome, and tight lines to all.
There you go.
Okay, hi everybody. My name is Dick George, and I'm with the 101st Airborne Division, and my partner and my colleague Dick Kelly is also a 101st Airborne fellow. We're here to honor the memory of Corporal John Dawson. You folks all have the programs. You know what happened to this kid, young man rather, 22 years old. This is our second annual memorial trip for him, and I would like to make some introductions, and I want to acknowledge a number of people that have been very instrumental in making these things happen every year. To my left is Carl Bradshaw, who is the Veteran Service Agent for Whitensville or Northbridge. He's the Veteran Service Agent. This is his second year coming for this. We have Michael Dawson, John's dad, who's here by my side. We've got Dick Kelly next to him. Behind Dick Kelly is my Veteran Service Officer, Kevin Hunt, who's been part of my festivities for years. And I want to acknowledge Colonel Michael Sullivan, who is currently stationed at Hanscom Air Base. He's an active colonel. He's our bagpiper. And what I'd like to do is call upon Carl Bradshaw to, he's going to do an invocation. Then we're going to set the flags and the wreath. And at that point, I'll read the paratrooper's prayer. Michael Sullivan will do the bagpipe, and we'll float this wreath out to Amazing Grace. So, Carl.
Before I get started, thank you all for being here. I have a couple of comments. First of all, I promise I will not go 1 minute over the 45 minutes that Mr. George has given me. Okay, maybe that was 4 to 5 minutes. I won't go even 4 minutes. Second of all, I'm glad I made it here. Because as we were driving on to Plum Island, I kept telling my wife, where's the 101st road? 101st. She said, no, it's on 82nd. I said, no, we can't have a 101st Airborne Division ceremony on an 82nd Avenue, right? So I'm glad we made it here. A few other things he didn't mention, but that's good. I live in Northbridge. I retired in Northbridge in 2005. And the first 4 years of my life, I had the honor of serving with the Screaming Eagles, the 101st, at Fort Campbell, Kentucky. Now, I know the Marines think they have a stranglehold on this term. Once a Marine, always a Marine. But I would say today, once a Screaming Eagle, always a Screaming Eagle. All right? If you were here last year, you had a good idea of what the theme was. We talked about Rakkasans, the 3rd Brigade Combat Team of the 101st, and what a proud unit they were. And it's true, but all our other units are proud too. I was with 3rd of the 327th Battle Force, and we were very proud, and very proud of being Screaming Eagles. I want to tell you this time not where he served and what unit he served with, but how he served in our Army, and try to give you a real good understanding for why he's such an American hero. The 1st Battalion commander I had in the battle force, it's an infantry battalion, was Lieutenant Colonel Robert T. Clark. He later commanded the Rakkasans in Desert Storm. He later commanded the division. When he came to the battalion, he was a Vietnam vet, and he said, I got a priority, and my priority is the medic platoon. And you may not understand, but when medics typically go out, they go out with platoons. There was about 30 in this battalion of 450 people, but each platoon of 30 would get 1 medic. He said, this is my biggest priority, and I didn't understand it. I was not no second lieutenant. I didn't know how to tie my shoes, all right? But he said, well, if somebody dies in combat in the thick of battle, there's not that much we can do for him. We'll grieve for him later. If somebody doesn't get hit or hurt, then there's nothing we need to do for him. But what about the soldier that is hit, that is fighting for his life? What do? You turn to Doc. You turn to that medic. You count on him. Knowing he's there comforts you. But let me leave you with this question. If you're Doc, if you're the medic, and you get hit, who do you turn to? That's why Corporal Dawson is such a courageous American. He's not only a great soldier, he's not only a great American or a great screaming eagle, he was a courageous, honorable, and American hero. Thank you all for being here to remember him and honor him today. Now I have some presentations I'd like to make. And this is the Blackstone Valley Veteran Service Officer coin, designed by myself, newly minted. It is inspired by the Dawson family. I wanted an element of that to be in this coin. So you'll know that, Mike, that every time you look at this, it's inspired by Corporal Dawson and your family. And you might be able to see it from that angle, but I have the gold star with red background, which is the Gold Star family. And that is prominently on both sides. We have all the services represented. It says Care, Honor, Assist, and it says since 1861, that's how long veterans agents in Massachusetts have been serving their local communities. And then it has the 4 towns that we represent, and that's the school colors. So Mike, I'd like to give you 3, one for yourself, your wife, and your daughter.
Thank you very much.
All right, and I'm sorry for your loss again. And to Screaming Eagle George, thank you for putting this together. I know it's a lot of hard work. Keeping Screaming Eagle's memory alive is so important. We know what a proud division it is, and I want to give you one there, Dick. Thanks.
Thank you.
And Dick Kelly, same thing. Thank you for all your hard work putting this together, and we appreciate it very much.
Well, thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you all.
Okay, I'm going to start with the flags. I'm going to put a flag for each of the branches of the service. First will be United States Coast Guard. Second we'll do Air Force. United States Marines. United States Navy. And last, United States Army.
I'm going to now read the paratroopers prayer, and then we can get on with our day. Mount up with the wings of eagles. Father of mercy, as we mount up with the wings of eagles, be near us. As we enter this time of danger, we pray to you, O Lord, who created the universe and into the very air we are about to jump. We ask, Lord, that you bring into our minds all of the skills we have been taught. We ask, O Lord, that you still the waters and still the air. We pray, O God, that we might be granted safety from the hostile fire and all the devices of the enemy, and for the courage so that we might perform our mission with success and honor. Father, our Father, when this time is over, We ask that you remind us to offer up prayers of thanksgiving so that we might remember the courage you have granted us. Now we have chosen the right from wrong in the future. To your glory, we offer this mission and prayer.
We'll get another one.
And I'm here with
Michael Dawson,
Michael Dawson. And Michael, where are you from?
Whitensville, Mass.
Yeah. And we just saw you. You had a nice little haddock on your line a couple of seconds ago,
I
and
did.
and just as he broke into the water and you were pulling him in, he kind of wriggled free, didn't he?
Yeah, that's the way it goes, I guess.
Is that
We'll
the first?
get some more bait on there and go back down and try to grab them again. So.
Yeah. So have you been on these fishing trips before?
Yeah, quite a few of them. But my son was actually John Dawson, who's the trip is named after and in memorial of, and so we came last year as well, and we're back out here this year.
What did you think of the ceremony and the tossing of the wreath in the water?
It was very moving. My son is, always on my mind, pretty much every day, and this type of tribute is just, it's moving and it's kind of bittersweet,
Yeah.
Beautiful day out here, but a good way to remember him. And he was such a great kid, and we miss him dearly. And unfortunately, couldn't be out here with us today.
But I'm sure he's up there looking down on us and wishing everybody catches a big fish today.
Right.
Well, thank you, Mike, very much.
Thank you.
And I'm here with,
Mimi Yasger.
and I know Mimi well because we have seen each other on quite a number of these whale watches and horse therapy sessions and fishing trips. How are you today, Mimi?
Absolutely. I'm doing great. It's so nice to be out here and just enjoying the weather with these wonderful veterans.
So how many folks did you bring with? Well, first of all, tell our audience, where are you from and from what organization do you belong?
Sure. So I'm the Senior Services Coordinator at New England Center and Home for Veterans in Boston in Government Center. And we have 9 veterans with us today, and myself and another staff member who also works with the seniors, although the veterans who are here are from all ages. So it's really nice to be here and enjoy the outdoors with them.
And do the veterans look forward to this trip?
Oh, they absolutely do. They love coming out here, and they look forward to it really like all year, and just knowing that there's going to be a nice outing and a way to recharge, some R&R, some fish.
I'm here with the captain of the Captain's Lady, right?
Yes, yep.
And your name is?
Chris Cheris.
And Chris, you run these fishing trips out of Plum Island. Like from how often do you run these trips?
We run seasonally from April through October.
Mm-hmm. And what are usually the best months for fishing?
Ground fishing is straight through all summer.
Yeah.
And
And for our viewers, now when you say ground fishing, I'm sure there's a lot of fishermen out there, but for complete novices, tell us what do you mean when you say ground fishing?
cod, haddock, pollock, cusk, any species.
And you put your line. Tell us how you drop your line to catch those fish.
Oh, all the way down to the bottom.
Okay.
These
Okay,
are
so the bait isn't kind of trolling around from the
No,
boat.
no,
The
these
boat
are-
is anchored,
the boat's anchored. They're fishing right on the bottom.
and so they let. And so in how many feet of water are we right now?
Right now we are in 190 feet.
190 feet of water. So, and I've seen some of the folks bringing bring their bait or their hooks back up. That's a long way to reel in, isn't it?
It is a long haul, and the fish are pretty good. They'll steal the bait on them.
And we've seen a couple where the fish will just hit the water, and then just as they are ready to bring them on board, the fish will. So you're doing this for the veterans, and this is quite an outing. They look forward to it. How long have you been doing this?
I've been doing this about 25 years myself, but the family's been doing it 41 years now.
Yeah. And you were talking about the different types of fish, and there are limits, of course, on the size of fish that you can actually bring in. Tell us what those limits are.
The regulations change every year, but this year the limits are 17 inches, 15 fish for haddock. And then codfish will open up in August and September of this year.
Mm-hmm. And now, will one of your mates be filleting the fish before that people have caught? So tell us about that.
They'll fillet the fish as a service on the back deck on the ride home.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. So people can actually get a nice, completely filleted fish and take it home in a plastic baggie and take it out on the grill and cook it and eat it tonight.
That's it. Everything except for cooking it.
All right. Well, thank you very much. It looks like a beautiful day. And how long will we be out here?
We're going to be hitting the dock about 4 o'clock, so we'll be fishing until about 3.
About 3 o'clock. All right. Very good. Thank you very much for chatting with us.
Right.
And I'm here with
Doug Calderwood.
And Doug, where are you from?
East Kingston now, put 65 years into Amesbury, Massachusetts.
Yeah, we were talking a little bit earlier about fishing, right? You kind of grew up in this area. You know all about the fishing.
Yeah, basically. You get out on a party boat, everybody's equal.
So you catching anything yet?
I've thrown two haddock.
Yeah, too small?
I should have, but I should have kept them because they said the most fish and the biggest fish, and I think I caught the biggest and the most.
Yeah, but the most has to be legal fish, you know that.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah, so you're trying to bend the rules a little bit, huh?
Yeah, well, $100, $100.
Is this your first veterans fishing trip that's been organized?
My shirt.
Oh, yeah, you've been on quite a few.
Last year.
Okay, yeah, this is a second annual one in honor of John Dawson, right?
Right, that's correct.
Yeah, what did you think of the ceremony?
Very good. I take pictures and I take video of it. I really enjoy it.
Yeah.
And the Marines are right behind the 101st all the time.
Well, gee, I don't know if
We're
I want to
glad
get
to support them.
I don't know if I want to get into that argument, but anyway. All right, thanks
it's a good argument.
Thank you for chatting with us, and I'll let you get back to your fishing. All right.
All right. I'm as proud as the 101st as I am the Marines.
All right. Try to catch the big one.
Catch them all.
This is the special bait that you're using here.
My secret.
It's your secret?
My secret sauce.
Well, I'll believe that when I see it, actually.
You and I both.
And you are?
Carl.
And Carl, have you been on any of these fishing trips
Yes,
before?
I was on here last year.
Yeah.
Same time.
Yeah. Did you win any prizes last year?
Oh, no.
You didn't win any prizes last
I caught too many sharks.
year? Seriously?
Yes, I caught 3 sharks last year.
Did you really? Oh, wow.
And I caught a cod and a haddock.
Yeah.
And they were both undersized.
You're both undersized, so you didn't get any keepers out of it last year. So looking forward to taking something home tonight that you can put on the barbecue?
Yes, most definitely.
Now, Carl, where are you from?
I'm from Pennsylvania.
What part of Pennsylvania?
Philadelphia.
Really? And you came all the way up here from Philadelphia?
I'm in Massachusetts. I came up here to go to school,
Okay.
but then had a little problem with my shoulder, so I was disqualified.
Uh-huh. So how did you find out about the fishing trip?
Oh, I work at the center. New England Center.
Oh, in the
for help
New England
vets.
Center. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, terrific.
So they needed a driver today, so I'm the driver.
There you go.
Designated driver.
Right, and you're also the fisherman here, I can see, and you're looking to catch the big ones, so we'll try to stay out of your way. I don't know what special stuff you put on that bait, but we'll have to look out.
I got a net around the boat, and I'm the only one in the water.
Right, Carl. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Have a nice day.
And I'm here with...
Colonel Mike Sullivan.
And Mike, if our viewers remember, you were the bagpipist during our ceremony for John Dawson.
Yes, sir, I was.
Yeah. And how did you find out about this? Did Dick Kelly reach out to you?
He did. So Dick's son and I actually played lacrosse together in an over 40 league. I also organized a lacrosse event to raise money for wounded warriors. So I got connected through Dick through his son through the sport of lacrosse.
Right. And you're active duty right now, right?
I am,
And
yes, sir.
you're where are you stationed right now?
So right now we're living on Hanscom Air Force Base, and I'm working on my PhD at the Fletcher School of Law and Diplomacy at Tufts University.
So this is illegal. You'll be a lawyer after this, or what exactly is that?
Yeah, so it's the Army has decided that they need to get more of our officers with the education of a PhD and the experience of PhD research without having to contract out purely academics. So what the Army's done is invest in time and money to send some of us to PhD programs to get the bona fides of a PhD, but we also have 20 plus years of deployment experience in the military.
Right. So you're 40 years old now, and you've been
I've been
active
22 years.
22 years, right? And when do you expect that you might retire?
I owe the Army some time back now for paying for the PhD, so it's going to be a few more years.
Yeah. And how long have you been playing the bagpipes?
I started in high school, played while I was at West Point, and on and off ever since. They've gone everywhere I've gone, whether it was Panama, Kosovo, or Iraq. Brought them with me, and every now and then they'd make an appearance.
So yeah, we saw you coming onto the boat with I don't know, didn't know you had a saxophone in there
Sure, yeah.
or whatever. But that's what got you interested in playing bagpipes?
Back when I was growing up in Rockland County, New York, we had a bagpipe band. I used to attend New York City police functions with my dad. He's a retired New York City police officer and detective, and the bagpipes were always there, whether it was in St. Patrick's Cathedral or at the St. Patrick's Day parades. So I found a gentleman that gave lessons, and after about a year's worth of lessons, I ended up joining the local bagpipe band and kept playing ever since.
Oh, wow, fantastic. So have you been catching anything yet? Or
No, but I've been enjoying myself. It's been very relaxing. The weather's perfect, and just what a great way to remember this young soldier that gave his life for us.
Well, thank you very much for speaking with us.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. And I'm here with
Christine Tassia.
And Christine, you are you work with veterans, right? Tell us about what you do with veterans out of Boston, right?
Yep, I work for New England Center and Home for Veterans. I am a clinical case manager. So I help vets that come to our center find permanent housing, get into school programs, find employment, lots of things.
Yeah. And how long have you been doing that?
I've been at the center since December of 2014.
And so tell us a little bit about your background, your educational background. How does one become the caseworker and do what you do?
I went to Lesley University. I have a master's degree in mental health counseling and expressive arts therapy. So I provide counseling services. I've worked in a series of hospitals around the Boston area, and then my colleague Mimi Yazgar, who was already working for the center, said there was a position, and I came aboard. So
sounds good. So Christine, is fishing expressive arts therapy in your world?
There's definitely a therapeutic component to being out on the water and in the sun. Yes,
yeah. It's a gorgeous day today, isn't it?
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. So are any of the veterans that you brought out today, have they been catching any fish yet or not?
Yes, Tom over there, he had a catch, and I haven't made my way around the boat, but I believe.
And it was a keeper too, right?
No, we put it back.
Oh, unfortunately.
We did put it back, so.
Yeah. Well, I hope you catch a big fish. I hope you win one of the big prizes, Christine.
Thank you
Okay,
very
thanks
much.
for speaking with us.
Take care. Thank you.
And I'm here with
Kevin Hunt.
And Kevin, you where are you from, Kevin?
I am actually from Newbury, Mass, but I'm the veteran agent for Newburyport, Amesbury, Merrimack, and Salisbury.
And Kevin and I, we chatted before because you were on a couple of these trips in the past, and we've chatted before on these excursions, haven't we?
Absolutely, we have. I think I've been on these since they got started. I don't know. This is the second one we've done for young Mr. Dawson, but we did a few before that. They were just sort of generic fishing trips.
Yeah.
And
so how long have you known Messrs. Dick George and Dick Kelly? They're
too long. Too long. I got to know those two. I think Dick Kelly, I got to know him the first trip we planned, so that'd be about 7 years ago. And Dick I've probably known about 9 or 10 years anyway. Yeah. When I took the job, I got a phone call one night from a guy who says, "There's somebody you got to meet." And I showed up at that fellow's house that day, and there was Dick George in the other room, and it was like I had to be vetted by Dick. You know, I had to pass muster.
Make sure you
and I think he said I passed muster that day, so I've been okay with him.
So what do the veterans tell you about these trips? Do they enjoy them?
I think everybody has to enjoy this. I mean, even if you don't fish, if you just get out and get it on a day like this, how could you? You got to believe in God on a day like this.
Absolutely.
And all the feedback is marvelous, and particularly for some of the people who it's competitive for them.
Yeah.
You know, they want to win, they want to get the most fish, they want to get the biggest fish, and you know, that's cool.
Yeah. And it was a nice moving ceremony for John Dawson today, and you were ringing the bell as Dick Kelly announced the different services that as he put the flag in the wreath.
I can never seem to get that bell right. It always it doesn't clatter. It just rings around the inside.
There's a real art to it, right? So what's harder, fishing or ringing the bell?
The harder is fishing, I think. But,
all right. Well, Kevin, thank you for speaking with us. Enjoy the day and enjoy the day of fishing.
Great
Good talking.
to see you, too.
Good to see you, Kevin.
Yeah.
And I'm here with?
My name?
Yes, what's your name?
Herbert Tace.
And Herbert, where are you from?
From Dorchester.
From Dorchester, Massachusetts?
Yes.
Yeah, that's where I met my wife.
Oh, okay. All right. No
So how did you hear about the fishing trip, Herbert?
I'm at the shelter.
Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah. So we just were watching you, and we just watched you bring up 2 fish at once,
right.
And neither of them were of the legal size. That's got to be a rotten thing, right?
Yeah, that is.
you work hard catching a fish, and then you catch 2 at once, and you can't keep
them. No.
Yeah. Are you a fisherman usually? Do you do a lot of fishing?
Yes, I do.
Where do you usually fish?
I usually fish at the Cape.
Down to Cape? What do you catch down there? Same kind of fish?
No, I go for stripers, but this is the wrong time of the year. Right? By late September, I just go for stripers.
Yeah. Well, you're doing bottom fishing here, where the captain said we're in about 190 feet of water down here.
Right.
Yeah. So your arms get a workout bringing in the big ones, right?
Sure do.
All right. Well, I'll let you get your bait back on your hook and get that back in the water. See if you can catch a couple of legal size ones, Herbert. Okay.
Right.
Thanks for talking with us.
All right. Thank you.